Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you saw the last video, Sienna was diagnosed with autism. So we are continuing to follow her journey in the next steps and just talking about children with developmental delays. So I know it's been a couple of weeks since I touched on the diagnosis. I know it was a really brief video, the last one. We just did it in the car. I was just trying to get her home for a nap. But I wanted to go a little bit more in depth about the test itself. In my opinion, I thought the test was a little subjective. Again, this is my opinion. I'm not trying to take anything away from the doctor. I know he is there to help us. This is just, again, my opinion. There were a series of tests that she had to perform. One of them was like, a couple of them were problem solving, and they were geared towards different age groups. So they had several types of different tests for a 1-year-old, a 15-year-old, an 18-month-old, and then a two-year-old. And so some of them he moved through, I felt like, a little quickly. Some of them he, gave her a couple more chances, which she failed mostly all of them, except for the one that was geared for a 1-year-old. So then he moved on to playtime to see how her playtime, like social interaction skills were. And she did not want to play with him. I think for the most part, I don't remember the medical term, but she was more into self-play, basically just not really minding any type of engaging when it comes to pretend play and playing with others. It was more just kind of like she wanted to do what she wanted to do. And so I did not read the whole prescription or whole diagnosis of her test, only because I did not read it because, one, I don't feel like this test defines Sienna. And the other thing too is, the doctor said something along the lines of, don't read too much into the results, only because he had to write it a certain way so we could get the coverage that we needed for insurance for the ABA therapy, because the ABA therapy is very expensive. So I don't feel is that an accurate portrayal of my child when it comes to her diagnosis? Maybe not. I think he said, like, he really wouldn't know where she really was until she hits 3 or 4. So for me, I believe Matt may have read the results or the whole diagnosis, but I didn't want to read it because we're going to get her all the therapies, and I'd like to do the updates and from the specialists. I want them to tell me, what she's doing, what she's not doing, where she's falling. So I don't know. That was just kind of my opinion on the whole test. That's how I felt. Again, that's just my opinion, not to take away anything from the medical doctor who prescribed her. Other than that, some of the things that I see she's doing, so she's biting. And I don't know if that's common. I don't know if that's a common thing for a toddler. I think I heard it might be, but she's biting, and she nicked me really good the other day. So I had to scream at her and tell her no. She cried, but I'd rather her know that that's, you can't go around biting people. So that's the other thing we have to address with the specialist. And the other thing that I've noticed is, so now, and I don't know if the biting is coming in with the frustration of her not being able to communicate. So what I've noticed her do now is, like, when she wants something to eat, if she sees a banana on the counter, and I can kind of see out the side of my eye that she's looking at the banana, she wants the banana, but she doesn't know how to communicate to me that, hey, I want the banana. So she'll come over to me. If I'm sitting down, she'll do like this push thing. So she'll push, kind of like tap me, and then she'll put her head in my, my chest or my stomach or whatever, and then she'll try to grab my hands, and then, I'm not moving fast enough, so she pulls her hands down, and, gets on the floor and does a quick cry, and I'm like, I don't know what you want. tell me what you want. So she'll go up and she'll kind of like repeat it and try to pull my hands. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, what do you want? Eat? Because we do practice like the signing with her, like eat. And I do try to practice the word eat with her for her to continue to at least try to practice saying words. So if I'm standing up at the counter, if I'm cutting something up or making her food, she'll kind of push me. She'll push me along the way till I'm standing in an area somewhere she wants, or in an area of something that she wants. So then it's up to me to try to figure out, okay, what is it that you want? So those are the newest things I've seen her do. And I don't know if the biting is part of the frustration where she can't communicate. I know definitely her kind of crying and going on the floor, not a temper tantrum, but just her, and you know, I'll get video of it next time just to show you guys. I should have did that. But her going on the floor, crying real quick, and then coming back up, trying to repeat to get me to make some kind of movement for her to figure out what she wants. So I was talking to another parent whose child is also on the spectrum, and she was saying how it's hard because you got to kind of have to figure out your own language together, and you got to figure out how to communicate together when she's not talking. So I think that's where we are. I'm going to email the specialist and see, what tips they have for us that we can do to maybe work through this. Speaking of the specialist, so as far as Sienna's hours, she'll be gone. She was usually about 8 to 10 hours. Now she'll be at 28 to 30 hours. She'll be doing more therapies at the ABA Center, so Monday through Friday in the morning and Monday through Friday at night at our house. So she'll be getting some extra therapies. They're going to gradually work up to that. Lastly, we ended up taking her out of daycare because there's just no way we could fit in the ABA therapy and the daycare all at the same time. She's going to be getting the hours that she needs, and there's just no time for the daycare. So at this point, we just said, we're going to take her out to daycare and just strictly do the ABA therapy, which is what she needs anyway. Other than that, we are heading into the holidays. I hope everyone had a really great Thanksgiving. We had a really great Thanksgiving. Thanks for everyone who checked on us. We went to Orlando, went to a couple of places, took Sienna to SeaWorld. She had a really good time. And so now we're just looking forward to the holidays of Christmas and birthdays. Her birthday is coming up, and then Christmas. And so then we have a couple more birthdays. Matt's and his mom's birthday. So we have a lot of birthdays coming up in January. But other than that, again, just thanking you all for all the support. And, hopefully I can talk to you all before the new year. And if I don't, have a blessed and safe holiday. And we'll see you soon.